Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 71 of the Sim Racing Show. And this week, Polyphony Digital has a lot of serious freebies for Gran Turismo 7 players, talking free cars and millions of free credits. I'll show you how to get them. But meanwhile, Le Mans Ultimate is finally rolling out one of the most loved sim racing tracks ever. And Evo, Assetto Corsa Evo, has just confirmed a really modern F1 car and my favourite track in sim racing, setting up an ultimate Ferrari showdown. Heusinkveld, the pedal company, is breaking into wheels for the first time ever, and it's insane. You're going to want to see it, while Thrustmaster is pushing back in with a new entry-level bundle in sim racing. Fans have literally resurrected a dead Ubisoft racer, and Riser Studios quietly dropped more cars into ELMS 2. Yes, even more cars. And Tokyo Xtreme Racer finally has that release date. And RoadCraft just got a hardcore expansion. So we're covering a lot today. Let's get into it. Gran Turismo 7 players, this is your chance to get those serious freebies. I'm going to tell you how to do it. So the Gran Turismo Mod Series is heading to Berlin. Remember, I was there in London, spent a lot of time with Kaz behind the scenes, and Polyphony is giving away 2 bonus cars and up to 2 million credits, and it just takes a few clicks. So you've got to do this. You go into GT7, you go to the Viewers Gift campaign, it's on the top of the world map, hit the watch program and hit the watch stream button for both events. When it says entry submitted, you're done. You don't have to watch the whole thing. I wouldn't recommend watching the whole thing anyway. That's just going to get you the prizes, and those prizes are a Group 3 car from whoever wins the Manufacturer's Cup and a Porsche 962C in special livery. So they're quite good cars. They're quite relatively expensive cars. They're going to go into your garage on October 17th. Then there's Predict the Winners campaign. This is where you gamble a little bit with your Gran Turismo knowledge, because if you correctly pick the winner of the Nations Cup or the Manufacturers Cup finals, you get 1 million credits for each. If you get them both right, that's 2 million credits, quick maths. The rewards come really quickly on September the 22nd. So I've done videos before where I've told you like who to pick. I have a pretty good success rate because I know a lot of these drivers. So if you want me to give you that, put some coin emojis in the comments and I'll do a separate video on how to get your 2 million credits. Now, no new tracks coming with Gran Turismo 7, which is really disappointing. But speaking of new tracks, Le Mans Ultimate is finally showing off Silverstone. This is big. For me, this goes directly into iRacing territory, and it's not how you might expect it. So if you are going to the European Le Mans Series round this weekend in Silverstone, you will be able to drive a preview build of the track in the fan zone. So yeah, Motorsport Games are setting up rigs on site so the public there can test it in advance before it officially launches later this month. So let me know again if you're going to ELMS at Silverstone. It's really cool that endurance racing like that is coming back to Silverstone. In fact, I'm going to be at Silverstone in a few weeks, so you're going to want to see what I'm doing. Now, the Silverstone is just part of it actually, because the full ELMS DLC is on the way. So you're going to also get Barcelona, Paul Ricard, and the updated LMP2. I think it's a bit uprated, isn't it? And you're going to have the LMP3 as well. That includes, I understand, the Ginetta Evo, which is quite a rare car. Remember, Le Mans Ultimate kind of need to do this because they got the license. We still don't know yet if this is all going to drop at once or in pieces, but given that the Silverstone hands-on is already this weekend, it's a really clear teaser. And I will be doing pretty intense comparisons between the LMU Silverstone versus Assetto Corsa Competizione and iRacing. Now, we are going to speak about Assetto Corsa news in a moment, but just before that, I want to let you know about massive discounts for Le Mans Ultimate, Assetto Corsa Evo, and other sim racing games. So it's about 40% off Le Mans Ultimate. It's about $28, and about 40% off Assetto Corsa Evo, about $40. So check out my instant gaming link in the description to see all discounts on sim racing games there. They're sponsoring these videos, and I'm working with them to make sure they have stock of sim racing titles. So they're a place to go to if you want to check the latest prices. So please do use my link, it helps me out and I appreciate your support. Now let's get to Assetto Corsa Evo, because Kunos gave us a little surprise that we weren't expecting off the back of patch 2 to 0.3 beta to the early access of Assetto Corsa Evo. But they did tease a modern Ferrari F1 car and Monza. So that's really exciting. It's an active F1 car in the game. That's a rare move, because normally EA have that locked up for the F1 game and we have to deal with the arcadey F1 physics, but that shouldn't be the case in Evo. And and this is before I even knew this new F1 car was coming, that I love driving the F2004 Ferrari F1 car in Assetto Corsa Evo. As all other YouTubers were slated in the game, I just had a massive smile on my face driving the driving the Ferrari F1 car from 2004. So I'm really, really, really excited for this, and I'm going to love to drive it at Monza. But there's a big problem, because the AI is terrible in Assetto Corsa Evo. So can you imagine how a grid start going into turn 1 is going to be with the AI? So Assetto Corsa, Kunos, they come from Italy, Monza, the Ferrari. It's kind of all coming together. It's all about soul. I like what they're doing. Now let's shift into hardware, because Heusinkveld are kind of Dutch legends of sim racing pedals and handbrakes, to be fair. They just revealed their first ever steering wheel, simply called the Heusinkveld 1. And here's the twist. Instead of looking like another chunky GT3 clone, you can see a lot behind me here, this is designed to be ultra lightweight and ergonomic above everything else. Everything else is compromised for the ergonomics and the lightweight. It starts at about €599 in Europe, and it launches this autumn, so imminently. And it looks very unusual. It looks to me like you have 2 joysticks, and there's been a lot of people saying it's actually quite a dangerous wheel. We'll have to see. But the question is, with Acetec, Moza and Fanatec and now Heusinkveld all pushing rims, how crowded is this market actually going to get? And are we going to really see a pedal company steal wheel buyers from the existing big names, in the way that SimLab came out with a steering wheel and they were a rig company? Is it going to work? Now, speaking of how crowded the market is, which is good news for consumers, I was saying hardware, Thrustmaster's come out with another update. This is bigger than you might think, because it's a T248R. It's an updated version of their entry-level hybrid T248, which is a massive seller. Like, we forget how big sellers these kind of wheels are. It's about 3 Newton meters of torque, but it's belt and gear. It's not direct drive, and it's about £269 with a set of T3PM pedals, so better than the old school Thrustmaster pedals I used to have. It works on PC, PS4 and PS5. The interesting thing is we're seeing a lot of direct drive sim racing companies come down to about 3 Newton meters. So the Moza R3, which is actually about 3.9, the Turtle Beach as well, PXN as well. Direct drive is coming for this market. And I think there's going to be some other big reveals coming soon. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Genuinely, you want to be subscribed, because you don't want to miss things being announced on this channel hour I'm able to. And if you want to pre-order stuff or buy it, it's going to get out of stock probably. So you want to be subscribed. So I'm interested here because Thrustmaster, they're not bringing down the T598, doing a 3 Newton meter version. They're refreshing the T248R. I would say, by the way, the wheel rim on it looks very premium, but ultimately it's not a direct drive wheel. So let me know what you think about that. Now, fans have just resurrected a dead Ubisoft game. This is big news, because remember Ubisoft pulled the plug on the Crew in 2024. He killed it completely. Physical copies didn't work. I bought the Crew. I loved the game originally. Well, I played it on PS4. It was one of my favorite games. But now a fan-made mod called the Crew Unlimited is bringing the game back online on PC with a release set for September the 15th. And this is exactly why our racing game community is amazing, because even when publishers shut stuff down, modders keep the roads alive, literally. And we see this time after time after time. It's just great news to the community. There's also stuff like SimHub, lovely dashboard. There's so many kind of like genuine community things in sim racing and racing games that we should be really proud of. And I would say this independent sim racing show as well. Now, Riser Studios dropped a surprise update for AMS2, adding 2 more cars to AMS2. I swear they want to have like every car in the world. So we've got the Formula V Gen 2 and the Ligier JSP4. Now the V is the latest version of Brazil's entry-level single-seater, so it should feel kind of exciting. I don't really like the V in iRacing, to be honest. And the Ligier arrives as part of the recently repackaged Endurance Pack Part 3 DLC, despite never being teased. Like, I think Riser are losing track of cars. I think Riser have a problem here. I think they need to really market AMS2 as a sim worth buying in 2025, 2026. Because I think people's perception of AMS2 is that it's ancient and it's like, it's not modern. So rather than just kind of doing scattergun content, I would do some marketing and say, look, this is what you get compared to LMU and iRacing. We're worth thinking about. These are the advantages. They've got IMSA license and stuff like that. Now let's go to Tokyo, because Genki's reboot of Tokyo Xtreme Racer finally has a release date. September 25th, PC only. big car list. JDM Heaven, Honda Civic Type R, Skyline GTRs, Toyota Supras, and more. It's about those late night highway battles. The only downside is that there's no console version. I feel like that's a massive missed opportunity, but at least PC players can dive back into the Tokyo highways. And if the open worlds, it's not really, the open roads aren't your thing, and you prefer heavy machinery, RoadCraft, I know a lot of people interested in RoadCraft. It was that game where you can kind of like repair roads and stuff like that with their diggers and dump trucks. Got a DLC, it's rebuild expansion, adding 2 new maps, 5 new vehicles, and tougher rules like manual gearboxes and fuel management. So it's kind of one of these serious sims. And Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator keep coming. You're going to be hearing a lot more about that on this channel because they're essentially going to become free roam driving games, which I'm really interested in. And there is so much news happening. You don't want to miss it. So make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you in the next sim racing show.